Good afternoon. We are so excited. My name is Carol Henderson, and I have Life by Design, and I am one of the aging experts. And we are here today to bring you an item that some people don't want to talk about and other people talk about all the time. Okay, we have a wonderful guest here, and she's going to talk to us about menopause. Did you hear that? So I'm here with my co-host, the wonderful Barbara Ellison. So say hi, and then we'll introduce our wonderful guest.
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Barbara Ellison. I'm the founder of the Wellness Playroom, and it's about aging gracefully. Aging gracefully is not about trying to look like a 30-year-old. It's about being your best ever self and having the physical and mental fitness to enjoy your life so that the rest of your life is the best of your life. And so right now we are so excited about having Dilyana come on because you know what? Yeah, I remember the M years. They were not pleasant. I wish I had known what I had known then what I know now. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So as Carol says, I'm going to steal it from her today. I never get to say this. Grab your cup of coffee or your afternoon tea, whatever it is, and just let's chat and listen. So listen up.
It's almost still morning there where you are, isn't it, Dilyana?
It's already noon.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's almost morning. So, yes. Dilyana, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, what brought you to the M word.
I'm a sleep expert, actually, and menopause coach, and I coming from a yoga background, as a yoga teacher and health and wellness also expert and mentor. I didn't understood why, with all my knowledge in health and wellness, in my 40s, I thought that I live a pretty much healthy lifestyle. I move my body, I do yoga, I do meditation, I take self-care, I eat healthy, I'm vegan, I'm plant-based, and I feel tired. I feel tired during the day, like a dead battery, walking as a zombie, never present, walking, feel like I'm in a dream, and feel exhausted and tired all the time. And in the evening, imagine 2 a.m. in the morning, your eyes is tired but wide open and wondering why during the day you feel so tired and in the evening you cannot sleep. So I didn't listen my body, and with my own struggling, I come to the idea that I need to share this information that I gather and receive during my struggle with others. And that started my idea. How that started coming to this idea that actually I can help not only in the physical level with exercise, but also in the mental and emotional. And most that I can help with how to embody and how to connect with the body and mind in this challenging period when you feel so exhausted, so tired, so forgetful, so irritable, so up and down, different mood swings, and going so much with your body. If you kind of dismissed by the doctors, don't know where to go, don't know what to do, don't know where to seek the help. You see something happen with you, you see some changes happen, but you don't know exactly what's going on with you. When you're going to the doctor, they explain the situation. In my case, they wanted to prescribe me the sleeping pills or antidepressant or something like that. And they told that I'm still young, it's not menopause. But they don't talk about premenopause, they don't talk about prevention measure, what you can do, what it's possible to start to see the change. They even don't suggest to go and check your hormones. For them, and for many people, and for many women even, the menopause is when the periods stop. Actually, before that, premenopause, the symptoms can start, it can last decade, in which is in most cases, many women don't know. They don't want where to search the answer. They know what was exactly happening. And with doctor's opinion that it's not possible yet, what they can do. So that's was inspiration to gather the information, to create the program and help women to feel better, to find their mojo, to find their passion, purpose, express themselves, and find the support with like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
That's great.
I have to admit, hearing you talk, I'm like, I look back on you because now I'm in my 70s, but I went through it like in my late 40s. And it was the year I was getting married. I got remarried. And I can remember just having that so up and down. And everybody said, oh, it's the stress of getting married again. And, you know, the wedding plans and all of that. But I just remember feeling just not quite right. But now you're telling us that can start like for a decade before you actually have the symptoms. Oh, brother. Exactly. The mood swings that I had, and I always just felt tired all the time. I thought I had chronic fatigue syndrome, but it was the early onset of menopause. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I wasn't crazy.
No, you're
we
not
don't
crazy.
know about
No.
that.
Well, yeah,
No.
that's true.
You're not the one. It's so many women like that.
And looking back on my mom was the same way. Wow. Thank you. We were like, who was that screaming Mimi that just ran by? And yet I can remember doing it the same thing because I just felt so out of whack. I just feel out of whack. But
Yeah.
it was the hormones. Oh, wow. Thank you very much. See, you learn something new every day. This was my learning of the day.
Well,
Thank
and
you.
that's why when I met Dilyana, I thought we have got to have her on, and we've got to have her on Aging Experts, because this is a big deal to a lot of women. Praise God, mine was very mild. You know, it went rather smoothly. But I had friends that they struggled, and I've got a story. I was at Cracker Barrel one day. It's a restaurant down here in the South. And this woman walked out, beautiful woman that was the waitress. And she was at the table next to us. And she walked up and she smiled so pretty. And there, as she started taking the order, all of a sudden beads of sweat broke out on her face. Before she was through, she was dripping down on her blouse.
Oh.
I felt so sorry for her, because just in that matter of 4 or 5 minutes, it was a table of 4 people, but so not a big, and they didn't dawdle. I mean, Barbara, it
Yep.
takes a minute or two, but in that time, from nothing looking wonderful to dripping sweat in that moment, that I just thought how horrific that is. And it's like I would have loved to just taken her in my arms. It's going to be okay, honey.
Yeah.
And I can remember David coming home, my late husband. He would come home, and he would just kind of look at me and go, isn't it a little cool in here? No, it's not cool in here. Don't you dare touch the thermostat. The poor guy, he would walk around the house with a winter coat on.
Open wide the window, sleeping with open window with the
wide
fan.
open windows. I was like,
yeah.
And the poor guy, he was like, okay, honey, and never knew how I was.
Never knew who he was coming home to.
Never knew who he was coming home to. And now I look back and I wasn't nice. And I realize now it was my hormones.
Yes. Yeah.
It
can be embarrassing. Yeah. Can be embarrassing in same situation as the waitress. That can happen in your workplace and can be very, very embarrassing. Yeah.
But, but I'm the oldest of four boys, and they were raised by the old. I mean, I'm the oldest of my sons. I have three sons, being raised by the oldest of four boys. And I made a comment to a friend one time of, I've never, I don't have PMS, and she goes, they wouldn't allow it. So I guess the same thing happened with my menopause. There were some times I'd get a little warm at night, but not the where you have to strip the bed type thing. It just a little warm. So
you were blessed.
Yeah. Oh, and I know, and I even realized it at the time. And we were talking to a naturopath that we went to at the time, and anyway, and she said something about, well, that's probably what's going on. And Keith goes, is that why the covers go off and on and off and on? Probably so. but he didn't have to wear a winter coat. I'll tell him that he's the one that's blessed.
Yeah. Oh, poor David. He would just leave his coat on. Yep.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so Dilyana, give us some tips and strategies of how women can handle it, because this is such a timely, as more and more people are coming up to that age,
right,
that this is something that needs to be addressed, and they're not, and I truly believe that they're not getting, that we women have been given a bill of goods, that this is something that we have to suffer with. And I don't believe we have to.
I don't think we do either. But if you realize back in the 50s, there was nothing ever wrong with women. It's like, oh, just give her a pill. It's just her. And so at least we've come a long way, baby. Not as far as we need to, but we've come some ways. But yes, Dilyana, tell us some ways to deal with it, because a lot of our viewers are not past that. They are just coming into it, or they're just looking at it, or in the middle of it. And definitely there are some things that can be done to help.
And of course, many people think, or many people are suggested to take hormone replacement therapy. For me, this is not the first thing that they have to think about. There's so many natural ways that you can rely on than hormone replacement therapy, because there's other symptoms, other risk, as breast cancer and other risk that if you have this therapy. There's very, very severe case that maybe that is the only solution it can help. But if in general case, you start to have prevention measure, and just switch a little bit your lifestyle and your diet in the way you living, it can prevent a lot and can make more smooth the transition. So I'm always about natural thing. I'm as possible. Like the only thing that I can suggest is additional, it's herbs, adaptogens, some tea, but not really supplements, not so much supplements. You maybe need some, but not too much, because it can create also dependency. So the main thing is that you need to schedule this me time. You need to listen to the body. Imagine you have to start to prioritize your sleep. You need to imagine what the teenage do when they go through this hormone change. Also, is the same thing, but opposite. So we are prepared as a woman to go in with our first period, but you're not prepared what's going to happen in our last period. And what the body wants to say to us is that you need to relax more. You need to listen to the body, what the body tell you to do. You need to reset, relax more. You need to have this fun activity, this social activity with the other women's. But most of all, you need your me time, relaxation time, in the way that you feel speak to you in the best way. In order to, you need to want to rest during the day and to prioritize the sleep during the night. How does happen? Because if you're in a roller coaster all the time, you're in the stress mood all the time, if you're in the state of freezing or flight, you cannot really balance the hormone, and that aggravate actually. The cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which is regulate this sleep pattern, this sleep cycle, and how you this time tiredness during the day, because usually cortisol have to be high in the morning or in the evening. With the change of hormone, with the stress, chronic stress, that can change. You can have high cortisol in the evening. What's happened that you cannot sleep, a low cortisol in the morning, and you cannot wake up fresh and rejuvenate. So you need to learn how to start to reset, relax, rest. This relaxation period need to be really involved in your daily life. If you don't like meditation, don't want to learn meditation, how to, you just can walk on the nature, just be with yourself, be in the silence, just reflect, journaling. But you need to find your best way to reset and relax. And what I find for me, what's helped me most, is to use the breathing, use the breath as a form, as a tool of relaxation, to train the brain how to relax in the evening, and to relax the body to be able to go in this fall asleep fast, stay asleep. And what it also can help if you wake up and cannot go back to sleep. Yes.
Yeah. I know breath work is absolutely so amazing. For me, before I get out of bed in the morning, I have learned to take some deep breaths just to start your day. I try to do it before I even stand up. Just because exactly what you're talking about, it's like it sets your body for the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so often we don't breathe from our diaphragm. And when you're lying down, you can really tell if you're breathing from your diaphragm, because if you're not, you're breathing from up here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not enough to give that total relaxation kind of thing.
Well, and one of the things, go ahead, Dilyana.
Yeah, you need to check often how you breathe, and if you catch that yourself that you hold the breath or you really breathe to the chest, that means during the day you didn't even pay attention on that. You cannot catch ourselves how you breathe, but that's what I teach, how to establish this habit to check regularly yourself how you breathe. That's this indication and sign in which state you are in every moment, and being more in the present moment. I use the breath as an anchor to be in the present moment, practice this mindfulness and this be just the present. It's helped a lot.
Wow.
One thing we know that in the past, people were healthier. They may not have lived longer, but they were healthier. They died from tragedies. They fell out of a tree at 80 or whatever, or a horse kicked them in the head. But, now we die from disease more than we do from accidents. But the one thing too is the oxygen content of the air has gone down so much. And one of the things that Keith mentioned not long ago is, where's the echo? Remember when you were a kid and you could go out and yell and there'd be an echo back to you because the air was alive? And it has gotten worse and worse over my lifetime. But they've noticed that the oxygen content is way lower. And so that's why a lot of people have to go on oxygen, is because worldwide it's lower. But it's we're not breathing properly. And so we're getting even that much less in. If we were breathing properly, we probably would be getting a great deal more oxygen into our bodies. And that goes into every fiber of your being, because that's what, the red blood cells do.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, you lack this oxygenation in the brain, in the body. The air quality is not so good, and the food is not so clean, and quality also it's not so good. So you have organic, but it's really not like old time, as you say. You grow your own vegetables and fruits and stuff, and you have more connection with the nature. You lost the connection with the earth, with the nature also, and using this all the time, this plastic shoes and stuff, you additional disconnect from the real energy source of to feel the barefoot, to walk barefoot on the grass or on the earth, and feel this energy from the earth. You disconnect completely. From there, it's helping so much disease also. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I read one time is that almost everything in your body is available in your feet.
No,
Yeah,
Like when you do reflect and your feet, your hands and your feet, because everything, there is a source within that. It's like, and a friend of ours, one day he was telling us about that he does eyes, that he can look at people's eyes. And it's like, and that's one of the things that I think we have gotten away from, is
Yes.
that they're treating symptoms, but we're not looking at the way the body itself. And like you were talking about the food, I think Carol and I, we heard a statistic a few months ago that a bowl of spinach in the 50s had nutrients, and now in order to get the same nutrients as in the 50s, you now have to eat 40 bowls of spinach.
Imagine.
And
Who can do
they're,
that?
and they're not even good nutrients, because they're
No.
all chemically changed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not even good. Yeah.
Yeah, and where I live, it's out in I live out in farm country in the Midwest. And one day, a gentleman and I, we were just talking about this. We got on the subject of wellness, and we were talking about crop rotation and all of that. And I said, well, one of the things that I have noticed is that they don't let the fields lie fallow.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Well, how can the ground replenish itself if it's never let to rest? I mean,
Yeah.
we rest every day. We're supposed to rest every day. And why the earth is no different.
Well, and we were told in the beginning to let the earth rest once every 7 years.
Right.
That's scripture. And if we do that, if they found that the farmers that do that and do the permaculture and the organic, their crops are much more abundant than the ones that use the chemicals and do it every year and such as that. We've America, and I know that Dilyana's in Canada, but America, the US we're marketers. Okay. I don't know if you know this little tidbit. I have all kinds of tidbits, but when Germany fell, okay, Russia came in and the Allied forces came in. Well, both got the technology that the Germans had done for microwave, and they were going to use that for heating food out in the field far away from supply lines. Where they were going to get the electricity, I don't know. But anyway, but that's the story. Anyway, Russia got that technology and they studied it. US got that technology and they marketed it.
Mm-hmm.
Now in Russia, microwaves are not allowed. They're outlawed because they know that it changes the molecular makeup of your food. I personally don't knowingly eat nuked foods, and you can go into a restaurant and you can ask, say, I don't want anything microwaved. And Applebee's they're the worst. They're vegetables. They're steamed vegetables, come in a little plastic bag with an ice cube in it, and they throw them in the microwave and call it steamed.
Yeah.
And if you've ever cooked a baked potato in the microwave, you can taste the difference. And everybody knows don't put beef in a microwave. You can get by with turkey, but don't put beef in one. But it changes the molecular makeup, and that goes into why are we having so much more intense, we started out talking about menopause, but we're having more intense health issues now than we've ever had.
Yes, because there's a lot of processed food also. The people eat a lot of processed food. You need to eat more fresh and live food than so much processed. And and specifically if you compare the women in Asia, women in the Western world, the women in Western world suffer much more with symptoms of menopause because of the type of food they consume. And women with Asia, because they used to eat more rice, more tofu, and according to the study, it's proven that fermented tofu and fermented soy can help with the excess of estrogen, or just to balance the level of estrogen, and that can help also with balance of the hormone. And also that's related health flashes and so much and so on. And also this is different culture going through this menopause in different way. In definitely Japanese women and Asian women going in different, more easy way than the Western women.
Right.
Well, and I wonder what the statistics are for like women, say in darkest Africa, where they haven't been.
They also have different type of
Yeah.
food.
But I mean, where they grow their crops and they eat them, and they're not all westernized and you know,
They have different symptoms. They going to different way than Western also. For sure, different culture is different. How they going through these challenges.
Yeah, it's just fascinating to hear the different things that impact it.
Yeah, so many, the lifestyle, the environment, the technology that you are in, the stress that you are in, the way of living, the food, everything affects us. Everything. We are very sensitive, but I believe that the body can heal themselves, and the cells can be healed also themselves with in natural way, using the natural tools that I teach. It's like a breathing, like sleep well, eat well, and also take time for yourself and just letting go, reset.
So what would be the top 3 things that you would tell a woman to do if they were approaching perimenopause or are in the heat of menopause? What would be your top 3 things you would tell them to do today that they can do, you know, until they can get a hold of you and do something, you know, but what could they do today to lessen those symptoms?
More me time, more rest time for relaxation. I use your favorite way of relaxation: meditation, breathing, walking. If you like qigong, if you like yoga, whatever you like, it speaks to you. Even reading, be in the nature, just be with disactivate. There's a way to activate the cranial nerve, the vagus nerve, which is relate how you socialize with others, and digestion system, and also how you sleep. It also can affect our hormone also. And this is just involved in happy activity. Find more joy, what is pleasant for you, what really make you feel happy, and find a balance. Find the balance between work and pleasure. And definitely you need exercise, but again, you need more relaxation, relaxing exercise, not so much cardio. You can still do some strengthening exercise, but not emphasize on that because it's higher the cortisol. You need more relaxation. You need more relaxing, a slow movement, gentle movement. If you need cardio, I suggest maximum 30 minutes to 3 times per week, and combine with yoga, with restorative yoga, with meditation, something. You can even dance if you like dancing. Dance also to shake all the emotions out, and also balanced diet. Just balanced diet that can balance the hormone. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this has been wonderful. I so appreciate you coming on and sharing with our people. And I want, you know, I want to say it's so enlightening to hear this. And like I said, I had a rather easy time with it, but I have so many friends that didn't. And there's compassion there. Okay. Yeah. Because I've, you know, like the lady at the restaurant, I could have sat there and cried for her. So, you know, you bring so much value to our lives, and I'm really excited that you're on the Aging Experts page and show. And everyone, please like, share, you know, let people know about this, because Dilyana is very knowledgeable about this. And she is in Canada now, but it's Zoom. So,
Yeah,
you
they
know, that's
they
the
can
big-
join my Facebook group if they like more tips and suggestions. They can join my Facebook group, which is called Balance, Perimenopause and Menopause. Or if they have a free gift from me, I can provide you a link after the show. You can post somewhere that they can have my 10 secrets how to sleep better.
Oh,
wonderful,
we'll
wonderful.
add that to the
Thank
link.
you. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. We will get that posted in here. So anyway, Barbara, any last thoughts?
You know, I think one of the things that just struck me is that, you know what, we know it, like, you're not alone.
Yeah.
This is something that is real.
Yes.
And so often I think we are marginalized that, oh, well, it's all in your head. Yeah, especially when you're first starting.
Yes.
When it's like when you're in full blown, okay, yeah, you know, you're in menopause, but everybody goes through it differently and at different times and at different ages.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like
and think about the people that start in their 30s.
Yes. Like
Yes.
with me, I realize now that some of the symptoms I started long before I had the actual tangible, when I stopped having my monthlies, that I pretty much sailed with. But all the stuff before that, and my poor husband, you know, it was tough. It was tough. And when I think about what we went through as a teenager, when my mom went through it, I wished we had understood it. And it was like, and all we heard was, oh, well, that's the change. Well, the
Yeah,
change
and
is what?
that was not something talked about.
You
back
did
then.
not talk about it. Oh, that was the change.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
what?
beauty, and I'm so glad that you give this voice and give this chance to share this information. And that's the goal is to talk more. You know,
Yeah.
women like talk between them, but it's to be in the public and share this information and share you're not the one. You can have the support. You can have
Right.
the solution. Yeah, you really give the hope to people.
Well, and that right there is why we have 3 shows. We have Monday Motivations. We have Thoughtful Thursdays on our motivational Mavens of Motivation page. And we have the aging experts, and we have these. But women used to get around the breakfast table and have coffee with their neighbors almost every morning. At least 2 or 3 times a morning, people would get together and have coffee, even to the point, more men, but they would go out for coffee at a restaurant up till the lockdown, and then all of a sudden everybody was sequestered alone. And that's one of the things that Barbara and I decided to do, the Mavens of Motivation, but to just sit and hang out around the table.
Yeah.
To give people support, because it does. It gives support to sit here and hear this. I mean, we have a certain topic, and people can put their questions in the chat. Dilyana will be happy to answer them. Barbara and I'll be happy to answer them. So if you have questions, put them in the chat and let us know. Let us know the things you want to talk about on this show. So,
Yes.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing, of knowing that you're not alone, you're not going crazy.
Amen.
Yeah, you're not the one.
Amen.
And if you didn't watch there's a musical, Menopause. It's so funny. It's so relaxing and joyful to watch this. It's kind of rhapsody of menopause, but it's really funny. Just find it in internet, Menopause musical. You're gonna have a lot of
Okay.
fun.
I'm going to have to go watch that.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Well, listen, thank y'all so much. This has been a blast. And we just go ahead, Barbara. I saw that.
One last thing. How do people get in touch with Dilyana?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I put the link, but it's I have a Menopause Support Academy website.com, menopausesupportacademy.com. I have also this page in Facebook, with my name they can find me in Facebook or LinkedIn and connect with me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank
This
you
has been
so
great.
much. This has been great. So thank you, Dilyana. I appreciate it. And I look forward to being on your show.
Yeah, it will be fun. It will be fun. It'll be so much fun. I'm excited.
I am too. We'll see y'all. Bye.
See you
Everybody-
soon. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.